Yo peeps, let's analyze this text game here on this website, playingfire.com, which came up first when I was looking up text game. So it shows two examples here. The first one is beginner text game, where you get to swipe through and have a little read. And then just below that, we've got advanced text game. So I want to analyze this and kind of tell you why certain things work and why certain things don't work. So let's go straight into the beginner text game. So where does it start? Let's have a look. So he's like, hey, whatever, probably just says her name. So this is a match online, right? So, hey, whatever her name is. And she's like, hey there, how's your Friday? Okay, kind of boring, but whatever. Busy, haha, how's yours? Obviously, she's going to say busy. A girl's never going to be like, my Friday's great, come over right now, let's have sex. She'll never say that. How's yours? And then he goes, great, assignments piling up, I'm guessing. Yeah, see, that's just weak. Like, what's the point of that? You have to think, what's the point of the message you're sending? Like that, what are you just doing there? You're not doing anything to win her over. So I find that a very weak, line, to be completely honest. So I wouldn't even drop that. I wouldn't even say, great, assignments piling up. She goes, nah, just at work, you know. So this is just shit chat, to be honest. Should take a breather. All right. Cool. What's that? Oh, God, this is such a bad conversation. And then he goes, a break. She goes, I wish, I need one. I hear coffee with a handsome Australian guy works wonders. Well, that's a little bit better. Okay? Like being a bit cocky, being a bit funny. Why not? That's actually the first good line I've seen in the whole conversation. I'm guessing you'll be the Australian guy, yes? Smart girl. Okay, that's also not too bad. Where are you in whatever location? He says something back. We're practically neighbors. Yeah, again, like whatever, who cares about that? That's just not. When you're sending certain lines, you got to think like, what's the impact going to be of that line? She says, damn, we're close. He's like, lol, yep, free tomorrow. Yeah, the problem with that is sometimes you got to give a girl a little bit more in terms of options. You know, when I'm like, hey, meet me at 3 p.m. this afternoon, and the conversation's only had like 2 or 3 lines, she'll be like, oh, I can't really do this afternoon. And then they just end up like ignoring it because girls don't ever really rearrange plans. They're just like, oh, no, I can't make it. And they back out and that's it. And she's like, I'll be working actually. When do you finish? Ugh. Yeah, again, just like you've got to just make this more spicy. And she says late, so she's clearly not that interested here. Solution, again, doesn't work. I'm really surprised that she's come back with this. How long are you here for? She's actually reinvested. I'm in blah, blah, blah till Wednesday. She's like, okay, we'll be short but intense romance. Okay, I mean, that's good. I like that. That's funny. Well, I'm up for that, but time is being a bitch. And he says, just come for a drink tomorrow night, then go home early. Yeah, not great. Again, that's not a great line. And every time he's delivered a line that's not so good, she's come back with something boring. Have you noticed that? Every time he's said something pretty boring, should take a breather. Terrible line back to that. A break. I wish, I need one. She's come back with some boring lines. Every time he's come back. How's your Friday? Busy, haha. What the hell is busy, haha? Like, it's just stupid. Every time he's come up with something relatively interesting, she's got back to him. Like this, will be short but intense, romance. That's funny. You know, it's just something different and a bit out there, a bit wild. So she says, we'll see. And then he has to chase her up again. Hey, blah, blah, blah. Hey there. Oh, no, that's the same text. Okay, fine. So, yeah, that's pretty boring. I mean, he just really hasn't come up with anything too interesting. And let's see what he actually says about that. Boring conversation, correct. Great, assignments piling up. Exactly, that's what I said, right? I just said it's a boring thing to say. That was a boring response. So he also said lack of investment from her. Yeah, obviously, all push and no pull. So it's quite hard to get pull out of a girl when you're a beginner at this kind of stuff. Push is like when you're directly trying to make a move on her, and then pull is when you leave some space and then she comes back to you. So he's given her no space, but you need to build up the attraction in order to give that sort of space. You need to say some interesting, funny, wild, funky shit. Poor closing, yeah, exactly. So before I read advanced text game, let me go back up here and say, give you examples of how you need to think okay? So not just tell you exactly what to say, just like how you need to think, right? So be wacky when you're texting a girl. Be a bit wacky, be a bit out there. So, hey, I think this sucks as well. This is a shit start to a conversation. Hey, Tamara. Boring. Find something in her pictures that's interesting that you could talk about. If she's on a horse, if she's on, she's got a dog, you could be like, love golden retrievers, want to get one myself. What's your dog's name? Bit random, relatively interesting, not too interesting, not that dynamic and fun. I just came off it with the top of my head. But you're using something in her pictures to talk to her about. You know, you're not just like coming up with some, hey there, how's your Friday going? That's bullshit. That stuff just never really works. Unless you are Leonardo DiCaprio, that stuff doesn't work. You need to be extremely good looking and have extremely high status in order for your boring chat to work. Okay? So again, like, hey, love the dog in your, love the dog in your pictures. When are we taking it for a walk? Or when are we taking him or her for a walk? Nice. It's a bit funny, a bit funky, a bit random, and also a bit cocky because you're assuming that you're setting a date already. So something like that would be quite funny. Then when she said, how's yours? You've got to come up with something more interesting, dude. Like, great, assignments piling up, I'm guessing. If she says, how's yours? Just be like, you could say, booking my next trip. This one's going to be the best ever. How's your afternoon looking? Or this one's going to be booking my next trip. This is going to be the best trip so far. Tell me the best place you've ever been to. So just like getting her to think a little bit with her mind and like trying to stimulate the conversation. She's like, oh, he's booked a holiday. He's going somewhere. The best ever. Yeah, I wonder where he's going. Gets her thinking. And then you're saying to her, where's the best place you have been? So then you're getting her to think in her own way and like, starting to create some sort of fantasy in her mind. So you've got to be a bit more interesting and just think a little bit wacky. And hey, listen, even if you don't live an interesting life, you got to make some of this shit up. All right, as a beginner, you just got to make some of this shit up. It's fine to do that. This guy's text game was boring here. Let's have a look. What is the advanced text game? Let's have a look. What's he talking about? Okay, so this might be the chick. It might not. Swiping right for that booty gains. Okay, funny. It's funny. That's what I like. It's funny. I probably wouldn't say that. I probably wouldn't say swiping right. Let's have a look at her picture. So at least he showed the picture here, and I'd be like, I'd say something like, you're a few centimeters away from the splits. Can you pull that off? Gets her thinking. She might be like, ha ha ha, no, I can't. Or ha ha ha, no, I've tried. So what she said is, swipe right for your entire upper body. Please tell me you come with a booty too. Okay, well, that's a super positive response back. So this guy has probably posted some topless pictures of a six-pack looking good. That's a very positive response. You need to be good looking to get a response like that. So that's why this isn't a very fair, probably a very fair test from beginner to veteran. Please tell me you come with a booty too. Depends. That's good because you're leaving a level of intrigue by saying that. Depends. Like, oh, okay, what does it mean depends? If you just leave it just like that, it just shows you're not desperate, you don't give a shit, and she either comes back to it or she doesn't, wait a couple of days and then send another wild message like, are you still in the gym squatting? ? Something like that. You see how I can come up with stuff from the top of my head? Because I'm just like, I'm always thinking like playful, fun, a bit funky. I don't really give a shit. I've got like a bunch of girls I'm talking to. So whether you respond or not makes no difference to me. I'm the man and you're just some random chick like with nothing to offer me. So that kind of mindset gives me a bit more of a fun, playful way of thinking. Your booty depends. On if you can take your eyes off my abs. Okay, cocky funny. Cocky funny always works. I can't resist your abs, then I'll just have to reach around and grab your butt. Oh, wow. You see? I'd be like, damn. I'd come back to that and be like, yeah, well, you'll be reaching around for something else at some point soon. How are you going to do that when your hands are cuffed? So he's going all BDSM on this. Oof, okay. Which works. You can test it. With some women it works. With a lot of women it doesn't work. She's like, oh, the question is whether you'll be able to hold me down before I grab you. Okay, so this is like some BDSM chat. He's got her engaged in this. This is fun. This is playful. I like a little fight, but I am positive I can. If all else fails, I just grip your face by your hair and choke you so you submit. This is good. This is really good. Oh, now that's going to be difficult. I'm into that, so I probably won't resist. I know you are. I know you are is quite good. That's a good line. I know you are. Like, oh, I know you're dirty. You know, which is a great line. A little more fight, and I'll bend you over my lap and cloth and wrap around your mouth with my strong arm, spanking you as you squirm. He's going full on BDSM porno mode here, which is fine because she's also accepting that. Unfair, you get to spank my bum, but I can't even touch yours. You can only if you can handle all that. Yeah, okay, sure. Not the best line, really. All that? Are you going to do more naughty things to my little body? A lot more than that on our romantic date. I'm intrigued. This is good. We'll have to set a date then. Oh, even she says we'll have to set a date then. So she's quite forward in this, right? She's forward from the beginning moment. So he's quite lucky that he's got someone that's come that forward to him, like, oh, your body, So she's like, she was down from the beginning, right? So this wasn't a very cold lead. She was quite warm. Exactly, shoot me your number for romance purposes. Let's set it. Lovely. So that worked out quite well. And then he's texting her here, hey, it's da-da from the thing. Thanks for texting me. How are you today? She's keen, man. Fucking amazing. Chilling on my romantic balcony. Nice. Rather than saying, I'm great. Oh, work was busy today. And you? Work was busy today is boring. Chilling on my romantic balcony. Suddenly you got her fantasizing about your romantic balcony. Maybe she'll get to see your romantic balcony at some point. You're planting these things into her mind. Can you see how this shit works now? Oh, you're very romantic, aren't you? Just got out of bed. I'm making some breakfast. Want some? She's super playful. She's already down, like massively down. This isn't actually a good example. So I'll be honest with this playing fire guy. This isn't a good example because she is already into it. You need something which is harder text game, right? After eggs and bacon, what will I get? Blah, 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 blah. She's down. This girl's just obviously down. So we'll have to set up a dessert tasting session. Free tonight or Sunday. Nice. When she says that, what I really like about that is he goes straight in. We'll have to set up a tasting session. Boom. He's like, are you free tonight or Sunday? And she's like, oh, I'm actually free tonight. How's 9 p.m.? He gets straight in to setting the date. Like, hey, you free tonight? How about 9 p.m.? Where? Boom. And then he's like, I can't, at your place already. So he tries to invite her to his place. Great move. And this is brilliant, by the way. How do I know you're not a 300-pound black guy? Genius. Anyone can use that line. That's why we meet in public, so you can run away if I am. All right, sounds good. There's a nice cafe called blah, blah, blah. We can meet there first. Okay, perfect. Shall we meet? Da-da-da-da-da. Hey, just finishing off dinner with my dad. Could we push it to 8:30? Yeah, I'm sure. Tell him I say hi. He says hi back. See you soon. ETA is 8:35. Okay, lovely. But she was into it. Okay, so the difference is there. She was into it. Now, what's he said about the analysis? So the boring conversation, yeah, there was no boring conversation here. He was straight into some naughty BDSM stuff, talking about her booty from day one. Level of investment, she was obviously invested from the moment he speaks. She replies with detailed messages. Yeah, bro, she was down from the beginning. All push and no pull. Now, when he said the word depends, he just left that out there, ready for her to come back to him. So when she's like, oh, well, what kind of things do you like? And he just said, depends, ... That's powerful. Very simple. You know, you're not trying too hard. You're just leaving it out there for her to come back. Poor closing. Yeah, I mean, he closes quite well in this because, again, she's pretty keen. So I think that's it. All right, fine. That's all. We just literally have one page of text game. So overall, how can you get better with your text game from just looking at something as simple as this? So, guys, just remember, be a bit different. Just be a bit wacky, right? Like, if you're not unbelievably good looking and have unbelievable high status, you're going to have some game. The guys who have unbelievable unbelievable looks and unbelievable status, they don't really need that level of game, to be honest, because it's just like, they just lure the girls in because they're just like such good looking dudes. But it definitely helps to have good game. So just remember with your game, just be interesting, just be a bit fun, man. Like, if you get a girl's number, if you match with her online, go through her pictures, find something interesting to say, and just keep it, you know, a little bit spicy. And also depends what part of the world you're in. So, for example, I'm here in Eastern Europe. Like, girls are not going to want to hear all this BDSM type shit, right? You have to, like, figure out what type of girl you're dealing with. She's a bit of a nice girl, a bit of a home girl, pictures of her with the family, pictures of her with the dog. Then be a little bit easy. Then talk about the dog. But if she's got pictures at a pool party and her titties are hanging out because she's in this bikini, then you could be a little bit more naughty. Then you could talk more naughty stuff. Then, like, if she's out there with her titties out, like in the bikini, then you could be like, interesting color of bikini, or like, the color of your bikini is interesting on this occasion. Dot dot dot. Just leave it like that. She'd be like, "What? What does he mean by the color? What do you mean by that?" You're inviting a response. She's gonna be like, "Ha ha. What do you mean?" So like you're just luring her into the conversation by saying that. But if she's like got pictures of her on holiday with her friends and she's got a dog and one of them's like her revising and she just looks cute in it with her glasses, you could say something like, "I bet you ace all of your exams at school," or something like, I bet you were the teacher's pet that sat in the front of every classroom." You could say something like that. You're just like, that's quite fun. She could be like, haha, no, I wasn't. Or, yeah, how did you know that? You're just implying something. You're being a bit cocky. You're talking about her in her environment, in her context. And women love talking about themselves in their environment, in their context. Be interesting, be fun, and then we can move on. Like there's obviously advanced game. That's just, I'm trying to talk to you about like openers here, how to open up, how to just get them interested in you. Hey, Tamara, boring. How's your Friday? Like, there's no point even saying that shit, man. Like even with your woman, like even with your girlfriend, there's no point being like, how's your Friday going? Just don't use the phone to text. Just like pick up the phone and speak to her if you want to speak to her properly, or just like come up with some really fun lines. Women just want this fantasy. They want fun. They want something interesting, and they want you to just like, throw some fire in there. So just be interesting and don't be boring.